Good morning, Stevie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty fine. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Uh, you're on a lot of watch lists for preseason awards, things like that. What do you need to do in order to perform at the level that you expect to perform and then take your performance a step up from the previous 2 years?
Really just starting in practice and taking practice as like a game. Just practicing like it's a game and just try to do things that I would do in the game in practice to try to, improve on every little cut and blocking and catching. So really, it just starts in practice, and then once I get everything complete in practice, then it'll work my way well to the game to help me, maneuver.
All right, Peaks, then Jambla.
Hey, Stevie, just speak to David Ellis. He's a guy who's had to jump back and forth between receiver and running back. And what makes him able to do that? What's special about his ability to kind of have that double duty?
David's a great player, very versatile. He has a great speed, with great hands, and he has big thighs, big caps. So he could run between the tackles. He could use his speed to get past you. So he's definitely one of those playmakers on the team that you could put anywhere. And whenever his name's called, you could trust that he can make a play.
All right, John, then Zach.
Coach Sheridan and Michael were both talking about this just in terms of Michael Penix taking more of a leadership role this season. I mean, what have you seen from him just in his maturation and leading the offense, and how can you tell he stepped up that way?
Definitely, I could tell he stepped up just from the offseason. When they shut down the campus and we couldn't be able to come on campus, he'll get all the guys together just to throw, just to try to keep us together and build that chemistry, starting from the offseason and then, towards workouts and things of that nature, always in the front of the lines, just trying to help better guys in certain ways and areas. So really, I feel like Mike is, he's still learning, but I feel that by the beginning of the season to the end, I think Mike will be, where he should be at for a leader.
Zach, then Kevin.
Stevie, forgive kind of a general question. You've talked in different ways about leading and setting an example and things. I mean, just what more generally kind of is it like for you? You're a guy that played a lot kind of right away and you've been kind of a fixture, but now all of a sudden you're an upperclassman and you're, I imagine, somebody that you got a lot of younger teammates just kind of looking to you, in the weight room, on the field, wherever, just kind of what's it like maybe as you sort of step into the role of being a veteran, a guy who's just seen a lot of the field, as well as obviously a guy that's counted on?
Man, it's crazy because, just 2 years ago, I was just a freshman and just looking up to the other upperclassmen. Now here I am, junior year upperclassman. It's just like crazy just watching the roles flip. So I just try to, use everything I know to my advantage and just try to help the younger guys, just to try to help them. So once they get to my point, they could be, already ahead of the game. And, I just try to really fill those guys in on what to expect and, what's going to, just try to tell them what will happen ahead of time and just keep them up to date, really. So I just try to, help my guys out anytime I can and really just push them to be the best player they could be.
All right, Kevin, then Ken Bykoff.
How has your relationship with Samson evolved also? Someone mentioned David Ellis earlier, but he's another guy that's kind of on the come and filled in with you and had that big game against Purdue. And how do you anticipate that moving forward in terms of, his number of carries as compared to your number of carries?
Well, so far, the first 2 days of camp, me and Samson have been loving it, just being out there. We got a few formations with us out there together that we're loving a lot. So really just feeding off each other energy and just trying to make a play for the team is what we're trying to, what we're looking forward to doing this season. And, Simpson's also another great player with a lot of power and speed and, who run between the tackles, a great downhill runner. So really just having those, just me and Simpson in the backfield, including David Ellis, a mixture that's definitely going to be a little hard for teams to stop. Just, just having three great running backs that could run, catch, and run you over, is and also got speed is definitely hard to stop. So, me and Samson have been working a lot this offseason also as well. Just, with little footwork drills and speed drills. So I definitely can see this being a big year for both of us.
All right, Ken, then Dylan.
Stevie, I know football is a game of routine, and there hasn't been much that's routine over the summer, and even as you get closer, and it got closer to camp, and now with the schedule coming up. So, what have you been doing to kind of develop a routine for yourself when there's so much uncertainty about going forward?
Really, it starts from when I went back home when everything first started. Me and my dad, he had me, getting up every day. Me and him would get up every day just to work out. So once I came back to school, I just tried to keep that routine going because that's something we already started. So I try not to slack off and just try to, show my other teammates something new just to keep them motivated and continue going and just, continue being a better player and a better person. So really, I just try to just, get everybody on the same page because, this could be a very special year for us. And I just want everybody just to be at their best when it's time to play.
All right, Dylan and then Stefan.
Stevie, I know you weren't able to play in the bowl game last year. I guess how hard was that for you? And I know the team uses that as sort of motivation coming into this season. So, how much motivation is it for you not being able to play? And then how much were you kind of itching to get back on the field throughout this whole summer kind of off season?
Man, just watching the game from the sideline and especially losing by 1 point definitely hurt because, just because I know my capability and what I could have contributed to the team that game. So definitely watching was hard to see, but it definitely was a fire lit to the team once after we lost that game that we have to get back into the lab and just keep working. We can't continue coming up short. That's been one of our things we've been doing for the past few years. So that's something we've been trying to work on during practice is just finishing strong and hard. But also from my standpoint, definitely I've been, eager to get back on the field, especially when there wasn't any a spring practice or anything like that. So I've been really just going to fields by myself and just trying to practice and do certain moves that I could use in the game just to get my feel back on the field. So definitely it's a great feeling to be back for fall camp, and I'm definitely ready for the season. I'm excited.
All right, Stefan, and then we'll wrap up with Olivia.
Stevie, I know, with everything that's going on, there's a lot of uncertainty about what the season holds. But with getting the new schedule and now fall camp starting, how are you guys kind of mentally just maybe trying to be positive and think positively about, what's to come in the next month or so?
Man, that's what we wanted. Our team is really full of players. They want the best competition. So really, we love this schedule. We love how we got Wisconsin first game, then come back Penn State. That just shows us that we have to compete every week and show the world that we could be a top big dog in the Big Ten too as well. So really, I don't have any worries about the schedule, and I feel like my teammates don't either. We know that we have to compete and work every day if we really want to achieve the goal that we set for at the beginning of the season. So really, we just look at that schedule and then come to practice and work hard.
All right, Olivia, last one.
Hey, Stevie, I wanted to ask you about the face coverings, if it feels different when you guys are out there running around. I know it hasn't been that hot this week, but what it feels like for you, if it sounds different, anything like that.
It's definitely different, especially, once you get to sweating. I wear a gaiter, so I don't really use the face cover on my face mask, but I use the gaiter. So really, once we start sweating and things like that, the gaiter will kind of get a little heavy and start suffocating your face. But that's really the only time where you really can't breathe. But other than that, it's just like wearing like a face mask on like a cold game, if you ask me. I could really, I could, see us doing that this year, other than the face covering. But it's definitely different just not being able to breathe how you want and, having to control your breathing and things like that. But I always look at certain situations like this to like try to better myself and see what ways I could, maneuver around this and try to better my breathing and how I could, just try to, I don't know, you try something different with the mask, really.
All right, thanks, Stevie. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll get you.